the survival mindset tonight on the Atomic Bear Show. So stick around and we will try to learn a little bit of something. I'm going to talk to Jeff. And guys, stick around because we got some giveaways and we have a cool show for you. Boom! And we're back. No, I've got to nail the intro a little bit better than what I've been doing. I just kind of just throw stuff out there. But guys, I don't see anybody in here yet, which is making me a little bit nervous, Jeff. But what's up, everybody? I have got a crazy freaking... I don't want to say that it's but it's something I heard on a podcast, and it's about a parasite, and it has to kind of do with survival. But thank God some chats showed up on the thing, because I totally thought I was talking to nobody. But what's up, Jenny? What up, John? What up, Big Doug? What y'all up to? Yo, thank God it's Thursday, y'all. Tomorrow is Friday. I know y'all are as excited as I am. Holy crap. What up, Richard? What you doing, dude? So, guys, I'm going to bring Jeff in, and we're going to get in the survival mindset tonight. So, I hope that you're ready for it. We have a giveaway that we're going to be doing on this little Molly attachment you can put on your bug out bag. And then Jeff is also going to announce the winner from last week. If y'all remember that we kind of changed things up and we put it on the Facebook. So, guys, again, I've got the, this was last week's thing. Well, he will announce that. And, guys, I will quit rambling and bring in the main man, Jeff, and see what he has been up to. But welcome, everybody, to the show. And y'all give a big shout out to Big Jeff. What's up, man?
Hey, dude, how are you, Matt?
I'm doing...
How was your week?
Man, I tell you what. They're flying by, dude. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but dude, these weeks are flying by. But when I'm in them, they're the slowest damn thing possible. What about yours, man?
Yeah. My week has been pretty busy, pretty as usual. But this week, I don't have my daughters; they're with their mom.
No.
So basically, it's a week where I work a lot, and I'll work less when they're with me. So I spend more time with them.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a great week. We just finished filming and putting together a new ad video for the tactical pen. Man, there's a guy there. I think he broke about probably 15 cars.
Yeah.
They went in a junkyard and he just filmed breaking car windows. So I will try to get him on the show just to talk about his experience breaking car windows. Yeah. But anyway, so it's been it's pretty cool. I've seen some shot now, like they've put together some part of the video ad, and it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. They have slow motion movement. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw the thing that you posted on Instagram, and it was kind of like the behind the scenes thing. I saw the camera they had, dude. I was jealous. I'm like, that's the camera that I want. But you know, when you broke, you just gotta just stick with the basics. And I say basics, but dude, that thing was awesome. So
yeah, I think it's a Red Dragon or something like that. Like they rent it, right? It's not their camera; they rent it. But I mean, still.
Oh, that doesn't count then. Hell, we could do that. Oh man. So survival mindset. But Jeff, I don't know if you've heard about this. I heard this on a podcast, and I am absolutely fascinated. You're probably gonna laugh at me, but dude. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by this parasite. Now, all right, get this. There's this parasite out there. And guys, if you're in the chats and you've heard about it, y'all let me know. And, you know, I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit deeper with them, but we might save it for a different show because, dude, I'm telling you, Jeff, I've been just like on this whole thing. It's only been like the past day. So, there's a parasite that crawls into like crickets and grasshoppers, and it will grow inside their body, and once it's ready to come out, it brainwashes the cricket or the grasshopper to go near water and commit suicide, and then the worm will come out, and it's an aquatic worm. Think about that, though. How, like, what kind of evolution type, and we say evolution, but just think about how long that took for that parasite to do it. But I have a video, man, and
Oh,
I want to show it to you. So I'm
ah,
going to share the screen for you. I'm going to put it on me real quick just so I can get
yeah,
this thing set up. But, dude, is that not crazy?
it's crazy.
Dude, all right. So this one's actually a cricket. But let me share the screen real quick. So you might not see me for a second, but you'll see the video. Can you see the
Awesome.
video?
I can see the video.
Cool. All right. Dude, I'm telling you, anybody watching and you're like, Matt, that's not that cool. I'm telling y'all, I've been on this kick and it's only been like a day. But, all right, here we go. So, let me pull this display thing up. Boom. What's going on here? Bam. All right. Can you see the video? I'm not going to play the volume.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So, what we got right here is he's going to the edge. Boom. And he's jumping in. Now watch. Look at this.
No. Oh, man. Oh.
It starts off as a parasite, grows into this. But look how long it is.
Oh. Oh, my God.
And then now he's like, all right.
Unbelievable.
So he uses this cricket as a host, basically. And man, I'm telling you, it's the craziest thing that I've seen in a long time. But
You know what this parasite is called?
yeah, it's the hair worm or the God, don't make me lie to you.
Like
Let's
a
see.
hair, for sure. It's disgusting.
Dude,
Oh.
it makes me cringe, man. It's the horsehair worm. I think they're just like a lot of cuss words right before you see the worm. But talk
It
about
probably
getting into a
inspired-
mindset.
It probably inspired a lot of, science fiction movies.
Yeah, that's a real thing though. But anyway, we won't stay on the worm. But dude, when I saw that, I was like, I gotta show Jeff this video just to see a reaction on it.
I'm just reading the reactions from Kelly. She says, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Freak, Richard, yes. Dude, WTF, indeed. Wow, that is crazy. I haven't seen this video. I think there's other parasites that do crazy or stuff like that, but never seen something as disgusting as this.
It's so, and I know you're like, Matt, you're a loser. Why are you thinking this? But that's also, like, it's fascinating to know that, like, a parasite, and I see that Amy over on YouTube, it sounds like the one that goes into snails and controls it eaten by birds. And Amy, let me tell you something. If I can talk Jeff into it, we'll do a whole show, a 16-hour show on it. But I agree. I know exactly what she's talking about. But what's up, everybody? I will quit boring y'all with parasites. Hope you're ready to get into the mindset. Jeff is going to go over a bunch of cool things. And again, guys, if you're just joining in, we are going to be doing a giveaway for the Molly kit. Now, Jeff has actually can't even talk tonight. He has a bag that he's going to show you how this thing works if you haven't seen it before. And we're also going to announce the winner from last week for this cool little bug out bag, is what I like to call it, the mini bug out bag, even though it's not called that. However, I'll quit boring. Jeff, let's get into the mindset, dude. So, I know that we kind of did a little back and forth right here, or right before we started the show, and you kind of mentioned the meditation. So
yeah. So let me go through like the different ideas. So I've been reading on this like for a little while, and today I found an article that was actually summarizing a lot of things I've been reading and a lot of things I've been myself doing, not for survival, but just for personal growth. And there's a team of psychologists who studied the Navy SEALs. So in the Navy SEALs, they say that about 75% of the candidates don't make it to the training to enter the Navy SEALs. And one of the reasons is not because these guys are not fit or these girls are not fit. They found that it's all like what makes the biggest difference is the mindset, how they think, how they go through very challenging efforts, very challenging situations. And this is what makes some go through the training and a lot of them abandoning the training because it's too hard. And when they look at it, they saw that those who succeeded to enter the Navy SEALs had some feature. They had some ways of training their brain. Unlike this parasite, they're not controlled by emotions and stuff. Like the crickets, they take control of their own mind. And one way that people are successful, it's not just in survival. Actually, it's also in business. I've been studying like very successful entrepreneur and business people, and there's a team that comes out and it comes back. It's the way you set your goals. So goal setting is key. Like, you know, when you do a hike and you climbing a big mountain, and let's say you look up the mountains, oh my Lord, it's going to be like 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm going to be tired. I'm not sure where we're going to go through to the top of the mountain. So you feel discouraged. You feel it hard. But if you just look ahead of you and say, well, you know, there's a little hump there. I can just walk to the rock and look forward, and there's this other like, you just go with smaller goals that you can achieve, and you can, if you focus on those goals, you actually are more likely to accomplish the big goals. So even if it's difficult, your goal might be, if you're underwater, to not breathe and you have to stay longer there, to not breathe for 5 more seconds, 5 seconds at a time. Eventually you reach the minute, and if you have to survive a minute underwater, that's the best way to go through it, even though you're not trained to do it. So that's the idea of goal settings. And survival, like in survival situations, you might say, well, like if you're in a combat, I've never been in combat, thank God. I'm sure there's a lot of veterans are watching us that have a lot more experience, and I wish you guys can talk about it and exchange and give us advices. But I've read that the way to go through some situation is just thinking about the next 5 minutes, then the 10 minutes, then the 20 minutes. And then eventually they think about tomorrow, but they cannot just think about tomorrow, because otherwise they cannot make the right decisions for now. So short terms goal setting. And in your life, that's the same thing. If you're going to go to an interview and you're very stressed, you know, you don't think about like, oh shit, I'm going to fail this interview. You think about, what can I do now to be ready for the interview? So I used to do competition in sport. I was doing fencing. So when in sport and athletes, what they do is they focus on their competing day, on the moment. Well, I need to be competing in, let's say, I don't know, an hour. What can I do now to be better in 1 hour? So I can read, I can listen to music to be calm. I can watch my opponents to try to see catch some of their, weaknesses, and just have your way of going through your moment in an effective way, but focusing on the moment. So I don't know, like, have you been through these things where something seems super hard to do, and eventually you get to it by just chopping the adventure, if you like, in smaller bits?
Yeah, there's an old Chinese proverb, and forgive me if I slaughter it, but 1,000-mile journey only begins with one step.
Yeah.
And to take it to a psychology level, is that Jordan Peterson, I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Jordan Peterson, but he has this idea, and I'm sure he's not the only one, but this is where I heard it from. So if you're afraid of something, all right? So, for example, the example he gives is, if you're afraid of elevators, all right? Well, can you look at a picture of an elevator? Okay, you can. All right. So, bam, he gets you to start looking at pictures of elevators. And then he goes, all right, well, can you go to a, building or whatever that has an elevator? Can you go to the building, look at the elevator, and then leave? But you have to leave, because if you don't, then you're not telling the truth to yourself. And then he goes, can you go and stare at the elevator? Okay. And the point being is that by taking these, small steps, you can overcome fear. And I think that's what's missing. And I don't mean to get it away, but with this, and I say new generation, but the people that have grown up with just social media, meaning the first thing they can remember, okay, everything's been online, right? Well, they don't have that human interaction or anything like that, and they don't really know what it's like. And I use an example, talking to girls or something. Everything's online chat, so when they get face to face, they don't. It's it's an awkward situation. And I know we're kind of getting off track, but it kind of leads into the same thing. Is that if you can take these small steps to get it, and then don't try to take the big leap, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Don't try to do that. And people get so frustrated now because they want the instant gratification. And I think everybody goes, oh, I want it now. I've got to have this. And if they fail, then they're falling back. When, failing is kind of what you really want when it comes to this.
Yeah.
The guy from Alone, the TV show, right?
Yeah.
And I know that in the future we're going to try to have the winner on the Atomic Bear Show. So stay tuned in for that. But I couldn't tell you what season it is, but my buddy Kent was watching it, and I walked in, and the guy that ended up winning it, he's cooking the snail, and it's wet, and it's this whole thing, and he goes, it's all mental. Everything out here that I'm surviving in is all mental. Who is mentally tough to let the rain fall on you, to sit there, because it's not going to kill you. And I think Richard or somebody in the chat was saying buds, like the Navy SEAL training. That's what they'll tell you, that it is all mental. But how do you, I guess my question is, how are you relating that into putting it into practice as far as motivation and meditation?
So I think it's Richard. I'm not sure who. I just went in the chat, but one thing that they say that they train people to do, people who have to go through difficult things, whether it's the military or like in rescue teams or all that thing. So they teach people to have a mantra. So never quit, or never quit, and you repeat yourself this mantra. And one of the reasons for that, and this is something I discovered about 3 years ago. It's about what's going on in your head. So in your head, there's always a thought going on. This is consciousness. Like, even if you're not talking, your brain is just constantly talking. And if you're just not paying attention to what your brain is talking about in your own mind, all these stories about the past, what you remember in the past, what you're projecting in the future, this is happening all the time. And some scientists measure that. I don't know if it's how they measure that, but I mean, they measure that people will have up to 7,000 words in 1 minute going on in their brain, the equivalent of 7,000 words. So the self-talk can be very damaging. If you say, that's going to be too tough. This can happen. Well, I might not make it for tomorrow. I might not pass the night. I don't know. These guys are coming at me. Oh, man, I'm done. Like, they have like a gun or they have a knife. I'm just gone. I'm done. I cannot survive that. And you stop breathing. You stop, like, all your body goes into this mind where you can freeze, and you don't know what to do, because when your self-talk is not aligned with the situation, what happens is you start making irrational decisions. So one way to you mentioned meditation, right? So one way to train, and actually U.S. Marines are training like that. It's part of their training. It's not just like just for monks in Tibet or
Right.
Meditation is just a way to learn to listen to your own talk in your mind and control it. So one thing that is really hard, I don't know if you've never ever tried that, Matt, but it's just sitting there and don't say a thing, close your eyes, and try to listen to what your mind is thinking about. Always thinking. So, Can I slow down my mind? Can I slow down my self-talk, my inner voice, control it so it's not overwhelming? And this is used not only for people to, like, when you train like that, you can use this tool to calm down your anxiety, to whatever, if you went through trauma, like some people went through trauma, they will have these type of training to help them to train to calm their own voice inside their internal voice and their own. So one of the meditation that I've been doing for a few years now, it's called mindfulness meditation. It has nothing to do with any religion, any belief.
Right.
It's solely the idea of being able to control your thoughts, your thinking process, and being able to function in your normal life. Sometimes you go through very challenging situations. I went through very difficult situations like about 3 years ago, and I had to find ways to control my mind and not like go down into depression, for example.
Yeah.
So but meditation is, if you get meditation right, as you said, you might have like the rain going on you, you might be starving, hungry, but then if you can just calm your inside talking, it helps you. Experts say, it's not me, but experts say it calms you and it helps you to go through tough situations, and it helps you to make the right decisions, which is actually the most important thing when you are in a survival situation, because sometimes minute counts, hours, days can be like the decision you make will have a big impact in the next day, second day. Are you going to make it or not?
Yeah.
So I think, your idea of the mention of the meditation, but also the mantra that you have to tell yourself, control what your mind is saying, and also being able to reframe it so you're positive and you have something to do in the short goals, coming back to what you have to do. Make a shelter, but to make a shelter, what's the next thing I need to do? Well, get my knife and cut some branches, or go gather some branches to be able to make the shelter. So one step at a time, and then you follow this and you control your mind. You don't panic, and it helps you to survive. So there's a lot of stories. Like, I don't know if you yourself had to have to use something like that, but I think there's a lot of stories that everybody has where like their mind just tricked them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that a lot of people can reach back to a time where they had to be tough, and they wish they could tap back into that. Because I'm sure everybody can go, all right, just like you were saying, there was this time I was going through a hard time, and I made it through it, right? But when you think about something like that, it definitely made you tougher as a person. It made you smarter. The mistakes you made there. So if you had to do it again, then you're a little bit stronger with doing it. Now, I tell you a problem that I have, man, and when it comes, not necessarily a problem, but I have a Bluetooth headset that I wear like this, all right? So, if I'm ever alone, by myself, which, when you kind of run a business and you're doing things, I mean, heck, you already know, but, I mean, you've got daughters and stuff, but I will take one of these, I'll put it in my ear, listen to a podcast, listen to something, and I feel like, and this has only been for like the past 3 years, and I know that sounds crazy, but I was like, man, I would never wear these things, but when I got a pair of them, I have to have them. So, I haven't been alone with my thoughts, and I always hear that I need to do the meditation, but I think a part of me, I won't say scared, well, hell, I'll say it, I might be scared to kind of burn some of the dead wood off. So, I distract myself with certain things when I'm alone, and this might be what you're saying, is maybe I need to just kind of simmer in it and go, all right, let's think about this. All right, tomorrow, got this. All right, what have I been struggling with today? All right, and by fixing kind of the simple problems in your life will help you in a survival situation, because you're already mentally tough. You already have those practices with the meditation, if meditation helps. With me, I think podcast helps, but if I really had to dig deep, I would say that it's more of me running from having to answer to some of that stuff. And I don't mean to like make it weird and open up like that, but I think that I'm on board with you, man. I think that actually spending some time with yourself helps.
Yeah, to just say, like, to start meditation, like
Yeah.
it's not easy to start. You just don't know what to do, right? So there's
Yeah.
an app called Headspace,
Hmm.
and it's free. I think they have like 10 days, a 10-day challenge that is great because they start and there's someone guiding you. It's 10 minutes a day. It should be easy to carve 10 minutes in your day, and you go step by step. They say do this, listen to the sound around you, like listen to what, like pay attention to how you feel, pay attention to where your mind is going, and it's very subtle. It's not like weird or anything, and it helps you. So meditation is not something you do like every day of the every hours of the day, because I would I would go crazy.
Yeah.
But you take like a moment. Sometimes you only have 5 minutes. It helps to calm your mind, and then when you get out, you feel that you have more mental energy. And I think this is very powerful because especially when you're frustrated, you got someone you just caught you in the traffic, and you got home, you get home and you have to take care of the kids and the whole thing, but like you're so frustrated and you don't even remember why. Like you stop for like 5 minutes and you say, okay, I'm just gonna calm down. I'm gonna listen to my voice, say what's happening in there, and try to calm it down. And it can change your day, can change your night, it can change the way you interact with your kids. It can help you to like it doesn't have to be like a super weird, but just 5 minutes. It's not like sleeping, but so this app called Headspace is quite good. They guide you through. It's free, and I love it. It's highly recommended. And once you've done that, you understand a bit more what's going on in your head. So when you go through, difficult situation where you have stress, and then you realize that is the stress real or is the stress coming from your mind? Even if you have to spend a night in the woods, right? Because I don't know what happened. Like you're not gonna die unless it's very cold outside, and you might not be even in survival. You just have to wait for, I don't know, 10 hours
Yeah.
in the woods. You're not dying. You're just surviving for 10 hours, right? So depending on how you take it, you might start just walking around and get really lost. Or you can just say, oh, I'm going to sit down, wait until tomorrow when the sun comes back, and I'll go on, So that's the type of things where understanding how your head is thinking, how you think again, actually change the outcome of your situation and the outcome, and make a difference between getting really in very really, really bad situation or just like going through and surviving.
Yeah. And I got Joshua in the chats, and I was kind of reading some of them, and he's saying, well, we're not in a survival situation yet. And I think the key word there might be yet. Now, survival situations could be going through a divorce, going through a breakup, losing your job. So when it comes to survival situations, it might necessarily mean that the grid is shut down and we got to throw a backpack on and we got to go
Yeah.
bug out today. But how are you going to be mentally tough through life? And I think using some of what you were saying with the meditation, getting really in tune and burning some of that dead wood off can help you with all situations. It doesn't necessarily mean, because Jocko Willings, I don't know if anybody knows, but he said the main problem that we have today is that we don't have any serious problems. So when we don't have any serious
Yeah.
problems, you get a lot of negativity for minor things. You know, people that complain about this and complain about that, and it becomes this huge deal. However, if you were to lose your job, you don't have money, you can't do this, you don't worry about the petty things that people think about. So, being in a mindset to whenever a family member dies, and I'm just throwing things out here, Jeff, but
Yeah.
when serious things hit you, are you mentally tough to deal with those situations? And I would go on a limb, and if I was betting, I would say that a majority of America, and I don't know about Canada, but I would also bet on them that people aren't. They're not
Yeah.
in tune. And again, I wear the headset. I want to hide. I don't like thinking about stuff. Man, I think about stuff that I did in like the 3rd, 6th grade, and I'm like, ugh, it doesn't even matter anymore. But I'll still feel weird about things like that, and I'll think about it. Oh, man, I remember that time I was doing this. Oh, I was so embarrassed. Whatever. So learning how to deal with your personal problems and almost dealing with the toughness of life can help you if stuff ever does hit the fan. So it's almost like a preemptive survival plan. Am I right about that, or am I totally wrong?
I love your analogy. I think it's a way of living. Like prepping is not something you do once and you're done, or it's not something you do when something happened. Prepping is something you do in your life, so it becomes part of your life. And when things happen, you have not only the skills. You don't only have like the knife or I don't know the pouch or what else, what not, but you have the mental skill as well. And I think the mental skill is the number one ability. There are countless, like, I know if you've watched some of the Afraid and Naked show, but sometimes I remember some show where you have this guy who's like survivalist, like super like muscular, super strong guy, and he goes and there's this lady. She seems that she knows nothing about survival, and guess who leaves the first? The guy leaves the first because he's just not thinking. He's not making the right decision. He goes working under the sun. He's just sweating, trying to cut this big tree while like they did not actually need that much wood for their fire, but he just wanted to. So bad decision. He went into dehydration, and they had to take him out because it was too serious. And the lady, well, she made it through. I don't know how many days were challenged, but she made it through. And in that case, I would say skills were not what the guy was missing. The mental skills probably,
right,
but not his ability to do stuff. And I think, I think this is, you see that in life as well. Like, and this is not something you're born with. People say, well, I'm not born smart or whatever. I've heard that many times. Well, don't say that because, this is when you're not smart, is when you're telling yourself you're not smart. Negative thinking. Just say, I don't care if I'm smart enough. Who can tell if I'm smart enough? I'm good at something for sure. And whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it, And this is a mindset that you train yourself to think about. And when you go through a tough time, you're not thinking that you're not fit for that. You're not capable of doing it. You just say, no matter what, I'm going to try and try and try. And I succeed, whatever. I'm going to survive. I'm going to stay until tomorrow. I'm going to eat whatever I find, even if it's disgusting. I will just go through it, And this is the mindset that you can develop over your life. And that would be helpful, not just for like when shit hits a fan, but when you have like all sort of personal situations, as you mentioned. So yeah, prepping is a lifestyle more than just being reacting,
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And I think a lot of times, and even me doing this show with you and kind of having this conversation with you right now is kind of making me think that I think we might be taking too much of an approach as far as being in the wilderness or just when, like you said, shit hits the fan and the grid's off, when really survival could be an everyday thing. I mean, are you surviving? How is your mindset? Are you depressed? What's causing you? And taking these small little steps every single day will help you get out of that. Okay, what are we doing wrong? I'll give you an example. Jordan Peterson, again, I hate to go back to him, but just, from what I know, he's saying, fix the things around you that happen every single day. And this is the example he gives. This is not my example, but, it kind of will put it in perspective, I hope. So if you don't like the way that your wife greets you at the door, all right? She's doing this and you like her to greet you at the door. I know it's trivial, but just try to use it, whatever. Those are the things that you're going to want to fix. How somebody, like your significant other, does the bathroom right. Because he starts doing the math. He goes, all right, so you're working, you're coming home 5 days a week, blah, 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 it takes this. So over a lifetime of a marriage or a relationship, those things that irritate you that you might ignore are going to cause the biggest problems when everything starts piling on. So basically, fix the simple things. Have conversations. Say, hey, listen, this is what I think about. Okay, cool. Well, it's a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up because this is what you're doing. I don't like when you come in after I've already vacuumed the floor and you have your dirty boots on and you do it. Okay, I will take them off the door. Bam, bam, bam. So you can fix the simple problems. But what's so hard, and man, I have trouble doing it, man, because I can listen to these motivational things, but when I get tired, I
Yeah.
always heard that 50 Cent, he said that, when Beyonce was doing her thing and, blah, 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 and she went like 3 days later, and they said, 50 was doing his album, he's doing his movie, and they said, when do you sleep? And he said, well, sleep is for those people who are broke and, everything. So when you're starting a business, but when I get tired, I might have only a few things left, but it's my brain saying I'm tired,
Yeah.
just like running. And so I think I'm missing out because I think if we all were to say right now, if we were to live our lives over again, would we do things differently? Well, absolutely we would. But mentally, would we do it? Does that make sense? Like, I think
Yeah,
that,
I,
yeah,
I like
go ahead.
your example, and I like the fact that you mentioned sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep. Like they measured that like in the training of the Navy SEALs. It's the same article.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep is an important component. They say that sometimes they keep them awake for 72 hours, and after 72 hours, what happens is your brain goes into micro sleep. So you're always alternating between awakeness and sleeping. Like there's a it's
Polyphasic?
kind of, but they say like you have intermittent sleep time, like the micro sleep moment,
Mm-hmm.
and what they say is like when they get the same guys who are like super trained to shoot and they're very accurate, when they're tired, they're not more accurate than just like someone who's not trained to shoot at all. They're
Right.
just taking a rifle or a handgun for the first time. So sleep deprivation makes you less effective. So if you only sleep 5 hours a night and you need 8, to be functional, not only it's going to be bad for your health, heart problems, all sort of known health problem related to that, but you'll be easy to irritable. You won't make all the decision the good decision that you would or make otherwise, and you will actually be so much less effective that you should have slept those 3 extra hours because you would rapidly catch up on this time because you'd be more effective. So, this sleep part is so important. And I've been culprit and guilty of sleeping a lot less than I should have when I had a lot of things to do. And thinking that it would make me, like, funny enough, when I did my PhD, that was this thing, right? So I had to work, like it was toward the end. I had to finish, and I was sleeping 5 hours a night. I had to take care of my daughters. And I had to do my research project, and I had to finish. So I was sleeping 5 hours a night, and you know what happened is I had to do it for 6 months, and I was about to collapse. I was totally tired, irritable. Although I tried to be nice with people around me. And when it finished, it took me two months to recover from that. And I was friend with some biologists back then. They say, you know what? If you do that, what you're doing to yourself to mice, they won't survive. They won't survive to this type of treatment. So just don't kill yourself. And I'm just realizing that a lot of people are killing themselves by working too much or not sleeping enough, watching Netflix too late, and I think it's just terrible. Um, yeah, I'm just reading some of the comments. Richard is like working on a car. Look for the easy fixes before assuming the car is shot. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, Richard. Here, Phoenix Blue Lodge. I have lived with literally nothing. Picked myself up, did what I had to be done, and live life got better. I know I can live with nothing again, but I don't want to. Yeah, when you go through, I mean, Phoenix, that's a very, very cool comment because when you don't know you can do something, but you're forced to do it, you do go through. It's not fun, but then you know your strength. You learn about how strong you are, what you can go through. So one thing that I will very likely do is, suffering from hunger, whether you're lost in the woods or is something that we don't, most of us don't do in our world. Some people do, unfortunately, but suffering from hunger is very tough. But you've got to. I don't know if I could not eat for 3 days. Could you not not eating for 3 days would I feel I would be dying, right? But then I watch these shows like the Alone show, and these guys are eating 2 fishes in 7 days. I would be dead,
Yeah.
How do you survive? But we're strong, and until we try and we go through tough times, we don't know how strong we are. So sometimes exposing ourselves to challenges and things we didn't know we could do, because we fear something or anything, it's a good thing because you get to be ready for when it really matters, right? Um, I'm just yeah. Hi, Terozzi. Yeah. So one of the things I want to it's more or less time to wrap up. One of the things I want to say is that mindset is key, not just for survival, but primarily for survival.
Yeah.
But mindset is also key for your day-to-day life. And whatever, I'm not an expert. Matt is not an expert. We have all our personal life stories.
No, I'm an expert, Jeff. I'm an expert. I
But
know it
we're not
all, man.
we're not an expert,
No.
depending on how you define experts. But everybody is an expert in what they've been through, and they know what they're capable of and what their limitations are. And the challenge is, even if you're not an expert, who cares if you're not an expert or not? Experts will tell you what people do in general, give you advice, but you just know where your limits are. And being able to push your limits in a controlled way is always better than being pushed all the way through your limits and not knowing how to react. So that's a thing that I want to leave this conversation, because Matt, we haven't chat about it before, and I think it's always cool to have this conversation together, because we just it forces us to stop and think about it, and we have different life experience, so it's really cool. So yeah, pushing our limits and thinking about how to control our mind to be better persons and be happier, and being ready to face dangers, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think the only thing that, and I'm not sure if you misspoke on it, but I would say that whenever you said people know their limits and they know their limitations, I would almost want to disagree and say that I think a majority of them, because I don't even know mine yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I can
But
go back and think of times where I had to push myself through
yeah,
it. But if I had to pull that energy out for a task or something minor that's not that big a deal, even though if I were to have that mindset, doing the small things would help me in my future. So it's almost like you got to hit rock bottom until you can build yourself back up.
yeah.
And then I think that, well, no, man, you might be right. Learning from your mistakes and building yourself back up, I think, is key, dude. I agree with you.
Yeah, man. And I'm just, what I meant is, you think you know your limits,
Yeah.
but you know what is your next limit, but you don't know how far you can push your
Oh, okay.
limits.
Yeah.
That
I
was
agree.
the idea.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I think it's been 45 minutes. It's been a great talk, but we have some duty to do. First,
Yep.
I would
Yep.
like to announce the winner of last week
Boom.
contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kira Rogers. Kira, you won this individual first aid kit pouch,
Yeah.
and I will reach you. So last week, any new members who joined the group had one entry to win, and anybody who was already in and invited a member, they got 10 additional entries to win for that week. So it took me a bit too much time to compile that. To be honest, I will simplify the rules this time. But basically, Kira was the one who won this contest, and congrats, Kira. I'd like to say congrats for everybody. join the Atomic Bear Elite group. It's a secret group where we can exchange in a closed and private way about survival, about gear, about all sort of subjects. So it's really cool. And yeah, Kira, that's awesome. So for this week, I just want to quickly show you what you can win. Like Matt will show you the pack, but basically I've got something. I'll try to show it on the camera. My camera is not as good as yours, Matt, but this is this is not the flashlight, but this is the little clip. Now I just dropped the flashlight, but
No.
basically, it's a clip that goes onto your Molly, in your bag, into your Molly equipment. And there's four of these. I don't know if you can see that, but this is easy to put back, to put on. And then you click anything you want. Outside there's D rings. There's also, like, I don't know if you remember this little thing, Matt,
yeah.
but here this is a key holder for your belt, but you can put it on your Molly equipment. It's pretty cool. You can put, it's easy to put on your belt, and it's easy to take whatever you put on off the thing. And there's a little thing here. Pretty convenient. You can put keys, you can put anything you want to carry on your belt or in your backpack. And there's a lot more in the kit. So there's 11 items in the kit that can be added onto your Molly webbing.
You know what I was thinking, man? I need to be one of those QVC people that just like show the thing. Just, okay, you have 11 pieces, and this is what it is. But like he was saying, man, even if you have everything filled up on your bug out bag, adding this to it is going to give you so many more options. And this thing is actually really awesome. He sent me 2 of these down. He's like, hey, here's something to show for the show. Well, I took one of them and I added it to my bug out bag so I could add it a little bit more on there. But again, guys, this is going to be the next giveaway. And Kira, congratulations for winning the pouch. And the way that she won the pouch was she added people to the Facebook. Listen to me, man. The Facebook chat. Now, here's what we got going on this week. So, if you want to win it, Jeff, did you just explain that? Or was I just too caught up in the QVC thing that I just like totally missed it? Did you mention the YouTube chat and all that?
I just mentioned it.
Okay.
Like, so Atomic Bear is the brand of physical products. So we're pushing that. We also, I want to build a community of people who want to chat about survival preparedness.
Oh, yeah.
So we have created this group called Atomic Bear Elite. So not everybody gets in. You have to be accepted. So basically, you just apply, and there's a question there. Just answer the question. It's not a complicated one, but basically just asking why you want to join the group, what's your background, what you like, what you want to learn, whatever. Like, just write a bit about you and about what you want to learn and what's your skills. And if you're accepted, then anybody you invite into this group, if you invite one person, you get 1 entry to win. So if you're already in the group, invite 1 person and you have 1 entry to win. If you are getting into the group, you also invite 1 person for 1 entry to win. So all the friends you have and that are interested in the subject matter, just don't bring anybody for the sake of bringing people in, because then they will just leave. They will not be super happy about it. So bring people in, and that gives you an extra chance. Now, if you don't have a Facebook account, so a lot of people don't have a Facebook account. So there's a YouTube channel, the Atomic Bear YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And in there, you just need to go and friend us, and everybody will friend. But like, I think you need to subscribe first. I'm not sure about that. I think you do. But like, friend us, and then we'll add your name into the way to win. So can you explain, Matt, how you friend someone on YouTube?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a lot easier when you're using your phone. But right here, well, apparently it's not letting me do it. I might have to refresh this page. But if you cannot actually add us as a friend, email Jeff, email me, and then bam, you will have it, and we can send you the link. But right here is the Atomic Bear page. So if you're only watching this on YouTube, you don't have a Facebook, friend us on here. We're going to create a YouTube chat, or a YouTube group chat on here. Now, here's the thing. If you want to, you can join both chats just to be sure, and that way you're never going to miss it. Now, go ahead, join the YouTube, but the more people that you're going to bring in. Now, guys, the reason why we're doing this, and I'll just go ahead and just be completely honest, is that I was doing a show a while back, and when you do giveaways, it doesn't give incentive to grow it. So this is just more of helping y'all out to help us grow this channel. So the more people that you can bring in, the better chances that you're going to have to win this. Now, next week, we might do a giveaway where we guess a number. 2 weeks from there, because me and Jeff, we might be thinking all week, but when we finally talk to each other, we're like, okay, what are we doing? And it's total chaos. But again, guys, group chat on YouTube, like he was saying, add people into the Facebook group. And Kira, congrats. You're going home with this thing. And you know Jeff has always got some cool stuff. And by now, with the 15th episode, y'all know that we're honest. But, man, I'll be honest with you. Even if y'all want motivation, y'all throw it into the group chat. Because I think a lot of us might need it. Or, I tell you, Jeff, and this was something that came up, was an absurd creature of the week. I'm not going to pitch it, but I might try to convince you into doing the absurd creature of the week. Even though there might not be that many. But man, that worm freaked me out. Did I freak you out?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was disgusting. It's like an alien coming out of this. The cricket looked so nice as a sudden.
Yeah.
not the worm, but the cricket looked like a very nice animal after you've seen this worm coming out, you know?
Man, dude, that always freaks me out of and I hate to get so weird with it, but tapeworms and things like that, when I see it, I just think of parasites growing in my body. Hey, Matt, why don't you keep talking about parasites and ruin the show? Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but like he was saying, the more people that you add, the more chances that you get to win. This is going to be the giveaway. Congratulations, Kira, on winning the pouch. Next week, join us live, and you will know who the winner will be for this kit. So again, YouTube, add us as friend. If you are on YouTube and you can't figure it out, email me, email Jeff, and
you can email email us at show SHOW
Bam.
at theatomicbear.com.
That's it.
So yeah, that's the way, and we'll tell you how to do it.
All right, Jeff. Well, I guess we'll just end the show right here.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No,
but guys, it's been 54 minutes. I want to say thank you for watching, and thank you for going on this ride of prepping, of becoming better citizens. And guys, it's a pleasure to talk with you and talk with Matt and be there every week. I'm grateful for you guys joining and you guys watching, and I hope you got value from our discussion tonight. I want to say be safe and see you next Thursday.
Yeah, man. And I just want to say thanks, Jeff, because you don't have to do this. And, you know, I don't bring it up much, but you do give away your own products, and you do have this show every single week. And what I like about, you know, Jeff personally, you know, forget the Atomic Bear thing, is that he does have people's best interest in mind. So just know that when you're watching the show, Jeff does want to help people. That's why he created the brand. And if y'all go back to, you know, episode 1 or episode 2 where he talks about it, I mean, when it comes to Jeff, there is no part of the money-making scheme in there. He really is trying to help people survive, giving away product. So, guys, thank y'all. We could not do it without you. Big Jeff, you know I love you, dude. And, guys, let me give y'all a shout-out real quick before we get out of here. Big Richard hung in this whole show for 54 minutes. So, big shout-out to Richard. Suzanne, I wouldn't be able to do that for long. Phoenix is still in the house with us. And Who else we got? We got Butch. Of course, we got Butch. And then we got Redneck in here. Amy, what are y'all doing? Still watching this show. But thanks again, guys. And again, we will see y'all right here every single Thursday at 9 Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, get into your survival mindset. We will see you next week right here on the Atomic Bear Show.